On the afternoon of July the 14th this year, Councillor Edward Bolton, aged 50, one of Fulchester's leading public figures, was in his office at number 106 Market Street. During the afternoon, he had occasion to call in his secretary, a Miss Gillian Hayes, aged 18, from the outer office to take down some dictation. What took place whilst Miss Hayes was in the councillor's office not only shocked his colleagues, but today is the subject of the case of the Queen versus Bolton in the Crown Court.
And the prosecution alleges, members of the jury, that the defendant, after blowing or breathing on Miss Hayes's neck, said, "I bet that tickled. Never mind, I'll scratch your back for you." She will say that he put his hand down her back, attempting to unfasten her brassiere, and then began to fondle her right breast, so that she was obliged to wriddle to one side in order to escape his attentions. So much, members of the jury, for the allegations which form the basis of this charge. However, Miss Hayes will also say that it was but a culmination of a series of incidents which again, to use her own words, made my life a misery. As for corroborative evidence, there is an office colleague of Miss Hayes, a Miss Barbara Foster, who will say that as she entered the office, she in fact saw her friend trying to escape the defendant's attentions. She will further say that he had his hand inside Miss Hayes' blouse and that her friend was extremely distressed. Miss Foster was in fact so incensed by this that she remonstrated with the defendant, calling him a dirty pig. And she further alleges that the defendant replied, "She was enjoying it until you came in, you silly bitch." A complaint was subsequently made to the police, and when charged, the defendant replied, "This is ridiculous. A man of my position." A man of my position. Now, you must all be aware, members of the jury, just who the defendant is. He is extremely well known in the locality. He has been in local politics and taken a leading part in the social, official, political life of the area for something like 25 years. Now, plainly, an accusation of this nature is of extreme importance to a man like this. Not only is the man on trial, but his immense public reputation as well. But I must remind you, members of the jury, as I'm sure His Honour will do at a later stage, that you must not allow the defendant's position to bedazzle you. For two reasons. One, that your sole interest is, of course, the facts. And two, that a public reputation not only commands respect, but should also presume certain standards. Now, with your Honour's leave, I would like to call my first witness for the prosecution, Mrs. Veronica Hayes.
But that lady is not the complainant, Miss Tate. It's the usual practice to call the complainant first in these cases.
I appreciate that, Your Honour, but there are rather special circumstances which, in my respectful submission, I feel justify the course I am taking.
Very well. I rely upon you, Miss Tate.
What is your religion, please?
CV.
Will you take the book in your right hand and swear the oath?
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Cool.
What is your full name?
Veronica Hayes.
And where do you live, Mrs. Hayes?
18 Shakespeare Avenue, Fulchester.
Are you the mother of Gillian Hayes, the complainant in this case?
Yes, I am.
Do you remember the afternoon of July the 14th this year?
Oh, yes. That was the afternoon it all happened.
Now, do you remember it?
Very well.
What were you doing?
Well, I was at home making the tea. I bought a bit of fresh salmon for a treat, you know. Well, it's so expensive, you can only get it
What
once a year.
happened when you were making the tea, Mrs. Hayes?
Well, I put the salmon in a pan with a bit of water, because it doesn't need a lot of cooking,
Just
you
the
know.
facts of the matter in hand, please, Mrs. Hayes. Embellishments are not only of no consequence, they waste valuable time.
Sorry.
What happened?
Oh, well, Jill suddenly walked in.
Where from?
Well, from work.
Was this her usual time for coming home from work?
No, it was only 4:30. She doesn't usually get home till nearly 6. Later, if she didn't get a lift from Mr. Sharp next door.
And what was her demeanour?
Pardon?
Oh, was she happy, sad? What mood was she in?
Well, I thought she must be ill at first, but she said she wasn't.
So there was something not quite normal about her then, was there?
I didn't notice anything at first. It was just her being so early.
When did you notice something?
When she suddenly burst out crying. She hung up her coat and she'd gone into the front room, and then I heard her crying.
And what did you do?
Went to see what was wrong, forgetting all about me salmon.
What was wrong, Mrs. Hayes?
Well, couldn't get a word out of her for love nor money, not at first. But eventually she said, Mr. Bolton's been meddling with me.
Your daughter then made a complaint to you, did she?
I'll say she did, after a lot of persuasion.
And what did you do as a consequence of what she told you?
Well, took her down to the police station, didn't I? Very sharpish.
Thank you, Mrs. Hayes.
Fresh salmon was burnt to a frazzle, I might tell you, not to mention a perfectly good pan.
What were the special circumstances for calling this witness first, Miss Tate?
I'm sorry, Your Honour. She has a rather important hospital appointment to keep. Isn't that so, Mrs. Hayes?
That's right. I'm not well at all. And this business hasn't helped much, I might tell you.
Mr. Dealey.
How old is your daughter, Mrs. Hayes?
Just gone 18.
She lively, quiet, reserved?
Normal?
So she's not rather quiet and reserved, then?
Well, she doesn't go out all that much. Not like me.
Pardon? I didn't quite catch what you just said.
I said Jill doesn't go out much like me. I like a bit of life. Health permitting, of course.
Health permitting, of course.
Well, you only live once, don't you?
Indeed we do, Mrs. Hayes. Indeed we do. Tell me, does your husband live with you?
We're parted.
You're parted, I see.
We never got on. His ideas weren't my ideas. He's a home bird.
Like your daughter, maybe?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Tell me, Mrs. Hayes, has your daughter got a boyfriend?
No, not that I know of.
Not even a casual one?
No, I keep telling her it's time she had, but she never takes any notice. She's a big reader.
A big reader? Had your daughter ever made any previous complaint against Councillor Bolton?
Hardly mentioned him. Still, she wouldn't. She's not very forthcoming about anything.
In fact, she wasn't very forthcoming about this particular complaint, was she, Mrs. Hayes? In fact, she needed a lot of persuasion before she'd tell you anything about it, I think you said.
That's right. But I dragged it out of her eventually.
You dragged it out of her eventually. Do you know Councillor Bolton?
Only by name. Well, I've seen his picture in the paper often enough. Well, everybody does, don't they?
Isn't it true that last year you had a dispute with your landlord, the local council?
Well, it wasn't exactly a dispute. It was more of a misunderstanding.
They suggested that you'd taken in a lodger, which was contrary to their policy.
Well, he wasn't a lodger. He was a friend. A guest.
Nevertheless, you were ordered to ask him to leave.
That's right.
By the Housing Committee,
Yes.
of which Councillor Bolton was chairman.
I never dealt with him, though.
He was chairman.
I believe he was.
You were very quick to take your daughter to the police station, weren't you, Mrs. Hayes? Sharpish, I think was your word.
Well, if you'd have seen the state she was in, you'd have taken her to the police. Nobody meddles with my daughter, and definitely not dirty old men, that's for sure.
That's all, Mrs. Hayes, thank you.
You may stand down, Mrs. Hayes.
Call Barbara Foster.
What is your religion, please?
The Church of England.
Take the book in your right hand and swear the oath.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Cool.
What is your full name?
Barbara Foster.
And where do you live?
At 20 Belfield Street, Fulchester.
What were you doing on the afternoon of July the 14th, Miss Foster?
Typing out a list of local holiday dates.
Where?
At work.
Where is work?
Fulchester Trades and Labour Council offices.
Perhaps it might be as well to establish the precise nature of the defendant's employment at this stage, Your Honour.
Yeah.
The defendant is also employed there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's secretary, a boss.
Who else works there?
Well, me and Gillian Hayes did. We've been sacked.
Gillian Hayes, the complainant in this case.
The who?
The girl against whom the assault was committed.
It's an alleged assault, Your Honour.
The alleged assault, if that will make my friend feel better. Well, Miss Hayes? Miss Foster?
I've forgotten what you asked me.
Is Gillian Hayes, your office colleague, the girl who was allegedly assaulted?
She was definitely assaulted.
Now, did you and Miss Hayes each do a similar job?
Oh, Jill was his secretary. I was just the office dog's body. She's better at shorthand than me, you see.
Going back to the afternoon of July the 14th, where were you?
In the outer office.
And Miss Hayes?
In his office.
Was Mr. Bolton in there with her?
Well, of course he was.
Right. So you were in the outer office, and Mr. Bolton and Miss Hayes were in Mr. Bolton's office?
Yeah, that's right.
Are the two offices side by side?
Oh, yeah, bang next door.
Well, what happened then?
Well, I finished typing out a list of holidays, and I went into his office to give it to him.
And what did you see when you got into the defendant's office?
I saw him standing behind Jill with his hand down the back of her blouse.
Is this the blouse that Miss Hayes was wearing?
Well, if it's not, it's one dead like it.
I'd like this entered as an exhibit, Your Honour. In fact, it's my only exhibit. About the blouse, Miss Foster. It's a very loose-fitting one, isn't it?
Loose? It's like a tent. You couldn't tell what anybody was, well, like under it, could you?
The neck is loose as well.
Yeah, like a tent.
So it wouldn't be difficult for anyone to slip their hand down the back of it.
Oh, easy as pie.
Which is what you say the defendant was doing when you went in.
Really, Your Honour, I don't
Definitely
think my
he was.
learned friend should lead her witness quite like that.
Indeed, Mr. Dealey, she should not.
I apologise, Your Honour. Did the defendant see you come into the office? I mean, immediately.
I don't know.
Did he not say or do anything?
No, but Jill did. She sort of ducked her head down and slid off her chair.
Onto the floor?
Well, no, she was sort of crouched down like, and then she stood up.
What was her demeanour?
Pardon?
What was Miss Hayes' attitude, her condition?
She was red in the face.
Angry?
Well, more upset. Yeah, definitely upset.
Why do you say definitely, Miss Foster?
Well, Jill wouldn't exactly be enjoying it. Not that, being meddled with.
You're referring to the defendant having his hand down her blouse.
And the rest.
The rest?
Yeah, do you
Really, Your Honour, whatever it is Miss Foster's about to tell us can surely only be hearsay or even speculation.
Yes, be careful, Miss Tate. I can see the temptation, but I can't help feeling that Mr. Dealey may be right.
Did Miss Hayes say anything to you at this stage, in the office?
No, she just pelted out.
Did Mr. Bolton say anything?
I'll say he did.
What did he say?
He said that she was enjoying it till I'd come in, and then he called me a silly bitch.
Did you say anything to that?
Yeah, I called him a dirty pig.
Then what happened?
Well, I put the holiday list on his desk and walked out myself.
And where was Miss Hayes at this time?
Well, she was in the outer office,
And
putting her coat on.
what was her demeanour?
Well, she turned white, like she were ill.
How well do you know Miss Hayes?
Well enough.
Well enough to say that she was extremely distressed when she left the office.
Well, what do you expect when she'd just had her worst fears confirmed?
Her worst fears? What worst fears would those be, Miss Foster?
Well, Jill always thought men were dirty pigs, and now she knows they are.
Thank you, Miss Foster.
Now, Miss Foster, I wondered if you'd answer me one or two questions, please.
I don't mind.
When you entered Councillor Bolton's office, What was Miss Hayes's position in relation to the door? Is it facing it, sideways, or back to it?
Facing it.
And where did that put Councillor Bolton?
Oh, well, behind her, but more sort of side on to me.
So Miss Hayes was between you and whatever he was doing with his hand.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So how do you know he had his hand down her back then, Miss Hayes?
Well, I saw it there, didn't I? Or when she wriggled off her chair.
See. But you didn't actually see his hand until it appeared from behind her.
Well, no.
So it could have appeared from anywhere then, couldn't it, Miss Foster?
Not from anywhere. It must have come from down her blouse. Why else should she wriggle about if it weren't down her blouse?
What I want the jury to be quite sure about, Miss Foster, is that you didn't actually see his hand down her blouse.
Well, I couldn't if it were down her blouse, could I? But it couldn't have been anywhere else, could it?
Did you see his hand down her blouse? Yes or no, please, Miss Foster?
No.
Now, about this wriggling you say Miss Hayes did. She was sitting on a typist's chair, wasn't she?
Yeah.
At this point, Your Honour, I should like to introduce as an exhibit the chair in question. Now, Miss Foster, was that the chair Miss Hayes was sitting on?
One like that.
Exhibit 2, Mr. Dean.
I'm obliged, thank you. How much like it?
Dead like it.
Would you step down and sit in it, please, Miss Foster?
Well, it weren't my chair, you know.
Please.
Is this necessary, Mr. Dealey?
It is, Your Honour, to establish a fairly vital point about the security, or conversely, the insecurity of such a chair under certain circumstances. If you'd step down, Miss Foster. Now, Miss Foster, isn't it a fact that the size of that chair allows very little room for manoeuvre? I mean, the slightest assault on your balance would cause you to topple sidewards.
I don't know.
We'll try. Would you lean sidewards, please? Either way. A little more. Thank you, Miss Foster.
Is that all, Mr. Dealey?
For the moment, yes, Your Honour.
Before you return to the witness box, Miss Foster, Miss Tate, have you any comment to make about this chair? Rather than go through the whole business again when you re-examine, as I presume you will want to do.
No, Your Honour. I don't see the significance of the demonstration at this stage.
No, very well then, Miss Foster, you may return to the witness box.
After Miss Hayes had wriggled away and stood up, you say she left the office.
That's right.
Red in the face, you said?
That's right.
Well, couldn't that have been a result of all these contortions you say she was indulging in?
She was upset.
According to your evidence in chief, it was now that the first words were spoken of any kind.
That's right.
What exactly did Councillor Bolton say to you, Miss Foster?
She was enjoying it till you came in, you silly bitch.
Is Councillor Bolton in the habit of using words like bitch?
No.
He doesn't swear.
No.
He's a clean-spoken man, in fact.
Compared to a lot, yeah, I suppose he is.
Do you use bad language, Miss Foster?
Well, who doesn't?
Well, you've just said Councillor Bolton doesn't.
Well, he definitely called me a bitch.
Now, about this phrase, she was enjoying it, etc. Didn't Mr. Bolton, in fact, say, I've told Jill she can go home. She's having one of her turns.
Oh, he never said that.
Well, Miss Hayes does have days when she's not feeling very well, doesn't she?
Yeah,
Fairly frequently, in fact.
I suppose so.
Tell me, Miss Foster, do you consider yourself an attractive girl?
Well, that's not for me to say, is it?
Well, go on, have a go.
No, not bad, I suppose.
How old are you?
18.
18 and attractive. Boyfriends?
Of course.
Experienced, so far as men are concerned, then, would you say?
Well, I'm no mug. You have to know what's what, or you're in lumber.
Did Councillor Bolton ever impose himself on you?
How do you mean impose?
Make advances, touch you, put his arm round your waist, etc.
No.
18, attractive, experienced, yet he never so much as touched your hand.
No.
Yet you're saying you saw him with his hand down the back of a girl who, according to her mother, is quiet and reserved. It hardly makes sense, does it, Miss Foster?
Well, he knew what he'd have got from me. He's not daft, you know.
Well, don't you like men making passes at you, Miss Foster?
Not him, I don't.
Why, don't you like Councillor Bolton?
No.
Because he didn't make passes at you, perhaps?
Oh, don't be daft. He's old enough to be me dad.
And why don't you like him, then?
Well, it's just a feeling. You get it about some fellas.
And that's why you're telling this court lies about him, is it? Because of a feeling?
I'm not telling lies. I'm telling the truth.
Gillian Hayes joined the staff after you, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yet she was engaged for the better job.
Well, only because he thought he was onto a good thing with her.
You've told the court her shorthand was better.
Oh, well, yeah, it is. But that's not the only reason he took her on.
Did he tell you that?
Oh, don't be daft.
Did Miss Hayes?
Well, I doubt if she knew. Not at first, anyway.
So, what you're alleging is pure conjecture. Another feeling.
Look, I'm not often wrong. Not about fellas. And for one thing, he's got clammy hands as Councillor Bolton. Clammy hands. That's always a sign.
The case of the Queen versus Bolton will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. The case is continuing at Fulchester Crown Court, in which Councillor Edward Bolton, a town councillor, former mayor and secretary of the Fulchester Trades and Labour Council, faces a charge of indecent assault. It is alleged that he assaulted his 18-year-old secretary, Gillian Hayes, at the Trades and Labour Council offices. Evidence that she witnessed the assault has already been given by another member of Councillor Bolton's office staff, Barbara Foster, who is also 18. It is expected that Gillian Hayes will begin her evidence this afternoon. Councillor Bolton pleads not guilty. His wife has been in the packed public seats all morning watching the proceedings.
Now try to speak up, please. It's the jury who have to hear you.
What is your full name?
Gillian Hayes,
And where do you live?
18 Shakespeare Avenue,
No,
Fulchester.
you'll really have to do better, Miss Hayes.
How old are you, Miss Hayes?
18.
Yeah.
Until July the 14th this year, did you work at the Fulchester Trades and Labour Council offices?
Yes.
In what capacity?
Secretary,
Secretary to whom?
Councillor Bolton.
Did he actually engage you?
Yes.
What was your salary?
Well, I started at £12 a week and got a rise after 6 months.
How much of a rise?
£2.
Well, that was very nice. Did you expect it?
No, it was a surprise.
Who gave you this rise?
Councillor Bolton.
Councillor Bolton. Tell me, Miss Hayes, was this your first job?
Yes.
At 18?
I've been at Technical College.
Oh, I see. Do you like your work?
Yes.
You liked being a secretary?
Yes.
And you were well paid?
Yes.
Were there any snags to the job? I asked you, Miss Hayes, were there any snags to the job?
Councillor Bolton.
Speak up.
If I can't hear you, the jury certainly can't.
Councillor Bolton.
That's better.
Was a snag.
Yes.
Why?
The way he acted.
How did he act?
Familiar.
In what way was he familiar?
He kept touching me.
Where?
Anywhere.
Please ask your witness to be more specific, Miss Tate. I know she's probably embarrassed, but we do seem to be in a cul-de-sac.
Where did the defendant touch you, Miss Hayes? Exactly where?
He used to put his hand on my shoulder and round my waist. And once or twice on my bottom.
Where?
Do speak up, please, Miss Hayes. You're only prolonging your own discomfort, you know.
Can you repeat what you just said, Miss Hayes? Please, Miss Hayes, this is a court of law. We're all people of the world. Could I lead her, Your Honour?
No, Miss Tate, certainly not. She's your own witness. Now, listen to me, Miss Hayes. You've told us that the accused touched your shoulder and your waist, and you've mentioned a third place. Now tell me, what was that third place?
My bottom.
Thank you, Miss Hayes.
What did he touch you with?
His hand.
When?
Mostly when I had to pass him.
In the office?
And outside in the corridor.
How often did he do this?
A lot.
Did you like him doing these things?
No, I didn't.
Did it upset you?
Yes.
Did it, in fact, make you miserable?
Yes.
Did you ever try to stop him?
No.
Why not?
Well, I didn't see how I could without
what, Miss Hayes?
without having to give up my job.
And apart from these unwelcomed attentions, you liked your job.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask you about the afternoon of July the 14th. Do you remember that afternoon?
Yes.
Where were you?
Councillor Bolton's office.
And what were you doing there?
I was taking dictation.
From the defendant?
Yes.
How were you taking it?
With a pencil.
Literal questions beg literal answers, Miss Tate.
Indeed, Your Honour. What I meant, Miss Hayes, was were you standing or sitting?
Sitting.
Ah, yes, that chair. Well, we'll come to that in a moment. Now, where was the chair in relation to the defendant?
It's at the side of his desk.
And was the defendant sitting at his desk?
At the beginning he was.
And did he move at some stage?
Yes.
Where did he move?
He got up and stood behind me.
Right, Miss Hayes. Now, you're sitting on that chair taking dictation. The defendant is standing behind you. Then what happened?
I suddenly felt him blowing down my back.
Blowing? How, Miss Hayes?
With his mouth, I suppose. I couldn't see him.
How near do you think he was?
Oh, really, Your Honour? My learned friend is asking the witness to speculate.
I was going to ask if the blowing felt warm or heavy or soft or what.
I think that's reasonable, Mr. Dealey. Though I doubt if it's a definite indication of how far away the defendant was. More a question of the strength of his puff, I should have thought.
I'm obliged, Your Honour. Was the blowing heavy, light, or what?
Light. It tickled.
And what did you do?
Nothing.
You just put up with it?
Yes.
Did the blowing continue or did it stop?
Stopped.
Then what?
Councillor Bolton said, I bet that tickled.
And did you reply?
No.
Then what?
He said, never mind, I'll scratch your back for you.
And what were you wearing? Well, please, Miss Hayes, it's very important.
A blouse.
That blouse?
Yes.
Exhibit 1, Your Honour. Anything else, Miss Hayes?
A bra.
She said a bra, Your Honour.
Did you, Miss Hayes?
The defendant now has his hand down your back, Miss Hayes. What did he do then?
He tried to undo my bra.
Did he do anything else?
He rubbed my shoulder.
Did he touch you anywhere else? Now, I know this is particularly upsetting for you, Miss Hayes, but you really must try and tell us.
I don't want to say.
Please.
As I've already told you, Miss Hayes, the longer you take to give your evidence, the longer your ordeal.
To expedite matters, Your Honour, and to spare the witness, I have no objections to my learned friend leading, within reason.
Thank you, Mr. Dealey. That would assist the court. And the witness.
Did he touch you anywhere else, Miss Hayes?
Yes.
Where? Your breast?
Yes.
Now, Take out your handkerchief and try to compose yourself, Miss Hayes. A handkerchief is a great comfort. I may say you're doing very well. Very well indeed. I think we might try to continue now, Miss Tate.
I'm obliged, Your Honour. Not much longer now, Miss Hayes. What did you do when the defendant touched your breast?
I tried to get away.
How?
Wriggle away.
You didn't accidentally overbalance and fall on the floor, did you?
No.
I think it might assist the court if Miss Hayes demonstrated how she reacted rather than told us.
If you think she's up to it, Miss Tate.
Well, we can but try, Your Honour. I wonder if you'd step down, Miss Hayes, and sit on the typist chair there.
Do I have to?
And I rather think it might be easier for you than answering a lot more questions. Right, Miss Hayes. Now, assume the situation is as it was on July the 14th in the afternoon. You are on the chair, the defendant is behind you, and his hand is down your back. Now, will you show the court just what you did? Thank you, Miss Hayes. That was excellent. Really excellent.
You said, Miss Hayes, that you'd worked for Councillor Bolton for 6 months.
Yes.
And that during this time you made a number of unwelcome and unsolicited advances towards you.
Yes.
Yet it never occurred to you to leave the job, resign.
I liked it.
Yes, but you could have got another job, couldn't you? A trained secretary?
Suppose I could.
Oh, come now, Miss Hayes, there's no suppose about it, is there? Good secretaries are worth their weight in gold. So why did you persist in a job that was causing you so much distress? Miss Hayes?
She said it was, well, usual.
Who said?
Barbara.
Miss Foster?
Yes.
What was usual?
What Councillor Bolton kept doing, messing about.
Usual for him?
For a man, a boss.
So you put up with it because Barbara Foster said it was usual?
Yes.
For 6 months?
Well, there was no point in getting another job, was there, if the same thing was going to happen?
Now, I want you to think very carefully before you answer my next question, Miss Hayes. You're quite sure that you're not imagining this touching an arm round your waist, etc.?
No.
But you were rather expecting it, weren't you?
Expecting it?
Well, after what Miss Foster had told you.
No, I'd mentioned it to her first. She asked me what was wrong with me one day.
Yes, but I mean, you're not
What
very...
was wrong with you one day, Miss Hayes?
Councillor Bolton put his arm round me in the corridor.
Yes, I see. I thought we ought to clear that point up, Mr. Dealey.
I'm much obliged, Your Honour. As I was saying, Miss Hayes, you're not particularly experienced so far as men are concerned.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, your mother tells us that you haven't got a boyfriend, for instance.
No.
Are you afraid of us, Miss Hayes?
Us?
Men.
No, I'm not.
Weren't you in fact rather afraid of working in such close proximity to a man, to Councillor Bolton?
No, not at first I wasn't.
But you'd never worked with a man before?
No.
Tell me, Miss Hayes, how long have your parents been separated?
8 years and 5 months.
So long. And you've lived with your mother ever since?
Yes.
Just the two of you?
Yes.
You've got no sisters or brothers?
No.
An only child, in fact?
Yes.
My learned friend seems to be going to great lengths to state the obvious, Your Honour.
Yes, I agree.
I just thought her domestic situation needed a little emphasis, that was all, Your Honour. Your mother tells us, Miss Hayes, that she has men friends.
A man friend, Your Honour.
It was singular, Mr. Dealey.
I'm obliged, Your Honour. A man friend.
Yes.
Do you approve?
It's up to her.
Would you like to come now to the alleged assault, Miss Hayes? You say Councillor Bolton first blew down your neck, then he put his hand down your back, and then he touched you in various places.
Yes.
Now, there's a window directly behind where you're sitting in the office, isn't there?
Yes.
Was it open that afternoon?
I don't know.
Well, it was the 14th of July on a very warm day.
I don't remember.
So it's possible that it was open.
Could have been.
And if it was, a breeze could have been blowing through it. Again, it's possible.
Well, yes, but...
And you were only wearing that rather loose-necked blouse.
Yes.
Does Councillor Bolton always dictate while standing up?
Not every time.
Well, as much as he does while sitting at his desk, then.
Yes.
See. In fact, it's his favourite position for dictating, isn't it? Standing with one hand on the back of your chair, well, like this.
Well, he does do that.
I put it to you, Miss Hayes, that this is what he was doing that afternoon, standing like this.
He might have been.
Well, you've just said he had his hand down your back.
Well, he had.
Well, which was it, Miss Hayes? Did he have his hand on your chair or down your back?
Down my back.
You can't have it both ways, you know.
I do object to this badgering of the witness, Your Honour. And apart from anything else, we can all see the defendant has two hands.
I think you are tending to confuse the witness, Mr. Dealey.
Then I shall try to deconfuse her, Your Honour. I put it to you, Miss Hayes, that when Miss Foster walked into your office, Councillor Bolton had one hand on the back of your chair and the other, well, it could have been in his pocket.
No.
I also put it to you that the hand on the back of the chair could quite accidentally have come into contact with your body, so that perhaps you could feel his knuckles.
His hand was down my back.
And that already being aware of a breeze on the back of your neck, now suddenly feeling his knuckles against the back of your, from the back of your chair against your back, this, coupled with Miss Foster's sudden entrance, you were momentarily confused, you lost your balance on that chair, and to cover your confusion, you ran out of the office.
Yes, I did run out of the office. Any girl would have done.
Were you ill that day, Miss Foster?
No, I wasn't.
Nervous? Upset about something?
No.
But it was a warm day.
I don't remember.
The kind of day when office life tends to become burdensome, irksome.
I don't remember.
But you do remember my client blowing down your neck and putting his hand down your back, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Wasn't all imagination, Miss Hayes? Inspired perhaps by Miss Foster's repeated strictures that all men are beasts?
No.
Just like all your other allegations against Councillor Bolton's behaviour as imagination, springing from the same root cause and exaggerated perhaps by your own inexperience and impressionability.
No.
Why do you think my client made these advances towards you? I mean, towards you personally.
I don't know.
He never touched Miss Foster, did he? And you'll agree she's an extremely attractive girl. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Hayes?
She's a bit obvious.
Oh. You don't like Miss Foster?
Not very much.
You don't seem to like many people, do you, Miss Hayes? Why don't you like Miss Foster?
She's always on about men and...
Men and what?
Men and sex.
And you don't like that either?
Well, there's other things besides.
Is there any other reason why you don't like Miss Foster? Is there, Miss Hayes?
It's because of her I'm here, isn't it?
Now, why is it because of her?
Well, it was her who told me to make sure I told somebody if Councillor Bolton did anything serious.
Now, why do you think she'd tell you to do a thing like that?
I don't know. I wish I'd never listened to her. I didn't want to come here.
And who did you tell?
My mother.
Who persuaded you to go to the police?
Yes.
Why didn't you go straight to the police yourself, Miss Hayes?
I didn't think to.
According to you, you'd been upset and assaulted.
Yes.
Yet it never occurred to you to go to the police.
No.
It occurred to your mother, though, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
In fact, she persuaded you to go.
She kept on at me, didn't she?
Are you only here because of your mother?
She said I had to because men like that should be stopped. I didn't want to come here, but now I am. I'm telling the truth.
Do you know what it really means to Councillor Bolton to be in that dock today, Miss Hayes?
Might go to prison, I suppose?
I wasn't thinking that far ahead. His public life, his marriage, his career, and as my learned friend has already pointed out, what is most important of all to him, his reputation is at stake. To some people, it is already tarnished. Your allegation And it is yours and yours alone. Says in effect that this respected public figure is a hollow sham. Do you still say he indecently assaulted you, Miss Hayes?
Yes.
And it's not a figment of immature imagination?
No.
You're very, very sure?
I'm sure. He messed with me, and he knows very well he did. He messed with me for 6 months.
Thank you, Miss Hayes.
You may stand down, Miss Hayes.
That concludes the case for the prosecution, Your Honour.
My only witness as to the facts of the alleged complaint, Your Honour, is Councillor Bolton himself. But I should like first to call a council colleague of his, Miss Agnes Baker. Call Agnes Baker.
Miss Agnes Baker, please.
What is your religion, please?
Church of England.
You take the book in the right hand and swear the oath.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Cool.
What is your full name, please?
Agnes Baker,
And where do you live?
Croft Cottage, Manchester Road, Fulchester.
And what is your occupation?
I work for an insurance broker.
And you're a council colleague of Councillor Bolton, I believe.
For 15 years I have been.
And you occupy an office in the same building where his office is situated.
For 8 years.
On the same floor?
A floor above.
Where were you on the afternoon of July the 14th, please?
In my own office.
Did you see Councillor Bolton on that afternoon?
Not in the afternoon. I saw him that night.
Did you see Miss Hayes on that afternoon?
No.
Do you know her?
Oh, yes. I'm a member of the Trades and Labour Council.
Or would she have known that you were in your office that afternoon?
No, presumably. I'm usually there.
See. Now, did you see or hear anything untoward?
No.
Had Miss Hayes ever complained to you about Councillor Bolton's conduct before?
Never.
Did you know any of his previous secretaries?
All 5.
Did they ever complain about his conduct?
None of them.
Thank you. Now, you say that you saw Councillor Bolton that night.
At the town hall, there was a committee meeting.
Did he mention the events of the afternoon to you?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said he'd had to dismiss Barbara Foster for insolence.
Oh, he didn't mention Miss Hayes at all, then?
No.
When did you first hear that she was involved?
Oh, the end of that week. Somebody told me the police had been called in.
I see. You say that you've known Councillor Bolton for 15 years.
Longer.
What is his character, please?
Impeccable. His record speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Indeed it does. Thank you, Miss Baker.
You say the defendant didn't mention Miss Hayes was concerned in this business with Barbara Foster.
Not until after he'd been charged.
Now, why was that, do you think? I mean, you're a colleague and a friend.
Well, perhaps he didn't think it was important.
Not important. But he'd just been accused of indecent assault, Miss Baker.
Not then, he hadn't.
He'd certainly been called a dirty pig. Now, wouldn't you have expected him to come to you immediately? A fellow councillor? A member of the organisation of which he was secretary?
Well, he dealt with it himself.
Something as crucial and embarrassing as this?
He's that kind of man.
Well, apart from your public friendship, do you know the defendant socially, privately?
Yes.
Would you say Councillor Bolton was fond of the ladies, Miss Baker?
Not more than any man is, no.
Neither is he a saint.
It's as near as you'll get to one on this earth.
Really?
Thank you, Miss Baker. You may stand down.
The case of the Queen versus Bolton will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. The case of the Queen versus Bolton, in which Councillor Edward Bolton, a town councillor and former mayor, is accused by his secretary of indecent assault, should finish today. Yesterday, the secretary, Gillian Hayes, who is 18, denied that the alleged assault was a figment of her immature imagination. She told the court that Councillor Bolton first blew on her neck and then put his hand down the back of her blouse. Councillor Bolton himself is expected to go into the witness box this morning to give his account of the incident. In court yesterday was his wife, Mrs. Edith Bolton.
What is your full name, please?
Edward James Bolton.
And where do you live?
18 Rosewood Drive, Fulchester.
And you're a town councillor, Mr. Bolton?
I am.
And a former mayor of this borough?
I am.
Can you cast your mind back, please, to the afternoon of the 14th of July this year?
Yes.
What were you doing?
I was dictating a letter to my secretary.
Gillian Hayes?
Yes.
Were you seated?
No, I find it easier dictating if I'm walking about. I seem to be able to think much better.
Did you walk about on this occasion?
Walked about, stood about.
Where exactly did you stand?
Well, at some stage I must have stood behind her chair.
But you don't have a firm recollection of ever standing behind a chair?
No. Well, you see, I was busy thinking about this letter I was trying to dictate. I'm not very clever.
Who was the letter to, by the way?
An old lady in my ward, a Mrs. Bennett. She'd been complaining about having rats in her house.
And you'd been looking into her problems?
Of course.
One of the many problems that you investigate on behalf of the citizens of Fulchester every year.
Oh, I look into hundreds every year.
That many. So, you are standing and dictating to your secretary, Councillor Bolton. How exactly were you standing?
Well, I think at some stage I must have put my hand on the back of her chair. I sometimes do.
But that's not just on Miss Hayes' chair, is it?
Oh, no, I have other secretaries than Gillian.
How many more?
5, all told.
Any of them ever complained of your conduct, Councillor Bolton?
Not one.
Why did they leave your employment?
Most of them to get married.
Now, regarding this habit of yours of resting your hand on the back of your secretary's chair, is it a habit, or do you do it for any...
Of a bad back. A slipped disc, or at least that's what they call a bad back these days. I do it to give myself a bit of a rest.
Think carefully before you answer my next question, Councillor. Did you rest your hand on the back of Miss Hayes' chair on the afternoon of July the 14th?
Well, I think I must have at some stage. It's the only explanation I can think of for her saying my hand was down her back.
When in fact it was merely resting on the back of the chair and probably in accidental contact with her body.
Yes.
I protest, Your Honour. My learned friend is doing exactly what he accused me of doing, leading his own witness.
I rather think the charge is justified, Mr. Dealey.
What happened when Miss Foster came into the office, Councillor?
She acted sort of startled. Half fell off her chair and rushed out of the office.
She half fell off her chair, which we've already seen is not particularly difficult for someone sitting cross-legged on that particular chair. Were her legs crossed?
I think there must have been. It was her way of sitting while she took a letter.
What was your impression of Miss Hayes while she was under your employment, Councillor? I mean, what sort of a girl did she seem to you?
Timid, easily upset, and not in very good health either.
Did she take time off for health reasons?
Odd days.
Now, you heard her complain that you made 1 or 2 unwelcome gestures towards her while she was in your employment.
Miss Hayes was more definite than that, Your Honour. She said the defendant made a lot of unwelcome gestures, if gestures is the word.
I'm obliged to my learned friend. Now, about the allegations she has made about you putting your arm around her waist. Now, this would be a little more deliberate, wouldn't it?
Well, I might have done once or twice, but only in friendliness. I'm that sort of chap. I'm friendly with everybody.
A genial man.
That's right.
And as you've said, a town councillor and former mayor.
Yes.
An official of your church.
I am.
A religious man, in fact.
Brought up to it.
And secretary of the... what exactly is the Trades and Labour Council?
Well, it's made up of representatives of the trades unions and other such like organisations.
And all these positions of yours are highly social.
Highly.
So you could hardly afford to be a misanthrope then, could you?
Come again.
A hater of your fellow man.
I wouldn't last long if I were.
Indeed you wouldn't, Mr. Bolton. So you say that if you touched or annoyed Miss Hayes in any way, you did so unwittingly?
Absolutely.
And of course we've heard that the second member of your staff had no reason for complaint.
That's quite right.
Miss Foster did say, however, that after Miss Hayes had left the office, you said to her, she was enjoying it until you came in, you silly bitch. Did you say that?
No.
Do you remember what you did say?
It was something like, Gillian's had one of her turns, so I've told her she can go home.
Had Miss Hayes said she was having one of her turns?
No, she hadn't.
So, why did you tell Miss Foster that she had?
I did it to protect Gillian. She looked so daft rushing out like that.
Did Miss Foster say anything to you?
She called me a dirty sod.
Not a dirty pig?
A dirty sod.
Miss Foster in the habit of using bad language?
Well, she's that sort of lass, isn't she? Modern.
What was your reaction when she'd accused you like this?
I was flabbergasted.
Did you do anything?
I told her she could pack up and get out. She was fired.
I see. Do you know the complainant's mother, Mrs. Hayes?
I know of her.
Because of the dispute with the local council about her lodger.
Yes.
Rather an acrimonious dispute, wasn't it?
Very.
So why did you employ her daughter after you'd been involved in a dispute with her mother? It was rather inviting trouble, wasn't it?
Gillian's qualifications were first class, and that's all that concerned me. Besides, she seemed a nice girl. A very nice girl.
So, let's get it quite straight what you're telling the jury, Councillor Bolton. You say that you never put your hand down Miss Hayes' blouse?
Never.
That you never touched her shoulder?
Never.
That you never attempted to undo her brassiere?
No.
And that you did not fondle her breast?
No, never.
Thank you, Councillor Bolton.
What you are, in fact, saying is that all the allegations Miss Hayes has made are lies.
Either that, or she's imagined them.
How old are you, Mr. Bolton?
50.
An active, virile man for your age, would you say?
I'm fit enough. I have to be.
Are you married?
Yes.
Live with your wife?
Of course I do.
What is my learned friend hoping to achieve with this line of questioning, Your Honour?
I am merely trying to fill in the background of the man.
Don't spend too long over it, Miss Tate.
I won't, Your Honour. Is your married life happy?
Perfectly happy.
Now, would you tell us again why you think Miss Hayes left your office with such alacrity? Ran out, I think your words were.
Well, yes, I've thought about it a lot.
And your conclusions?
Well, the only explanation I've come to is Barbara bursting in like that upset Gillian, you know, made her jump.
So you think Miss Hayes was merely startled by Miss Foster?
I don't think my client is saying that was the sole reason for Miss Hayes' sudden departure, Your Honour.
Well, what are you saying, Mr. Bolton? Mr. Bolton.
Oh, that she must have imagined I was meddling with her because my hand was on the back of her chair.
Which is a habit of yours, resting your hand on the back of your secretary's chair?
Yes.
In order to rest your bad back?
Yes.
You don't seem to have rested your bad back while standing in the witness box.
It's not so bad today.
I see. Had Miss Hayes ever ran red-faced and agitated from your office before?
No.
A good secretary, was she?
Very.
Good shorthand?
Excellent.
Very efficient, in fact.
First class.
And you're saying this ideal secretary shot out of your office like a startled rabbit because somebody entered? A colleague, a familiar face. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you expect the jury to believe?
What other reason could she have had?
The reason she told the court, Mr. Bolton, that after annoying her for several months, you finally went too far on that particular afternoon. Now, maybe it began as an innocent diversion, blowing on her exposed neck. But it very soon changed into something quite different. An indefensible and indecent assault upon her person by somebody who ought to have known better.
Not true.
Now, you are also saying that Miss Foster is lying as well as Miss Hayes.
Mistaken, not lying.
Mistaken about both what she saw and what you said to her?
Yes.
you a ladies' man, Mr. Bolton?
I'm not sure what that means.
Are you a womanizer? Do you like the opposite sex?
That's two questions, isn't it?
Then please answer both of them.
I like women. What normal man doesn't? But I'm no womanizer.
I suggest you are, Mr. Bolton, and that you waste no opportunity to indulge yourself, especially if your victim is as inexperienced and timid as Miss Hayes was.
Not true.
Now, your counsel mentioned the dispute with Mrs. Hayes. Isn't it rather remarkable that you should employ her daughter?
I've told you why I did it. Gilligan's qualifications were first class.
Not because she was so obviously unsophisticated and naive then. Fair game, in other words. I mean, we all know that you stood to gain very little from your other female employer, Miss Barbara Foster.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Did you employ Miss Foster, by the way, as you did Miss Hayes?
It was done while I was away.
I see. The fact is, Mr. Bolton, that everything these two young girls have told the court is true.
Definitely not true.
Well, why should they lie?
I have no idea.
It's very simple, Mr. Bolton. They are telling the truth, and you are lying.
That concludes the case for the defence, Your Honour.
Thank you, Councillor Bolton. Would you return to the dock? Now, it looks as though we might be able to conclude our part of the proceedings by lunchtime. Yes, Miss Tate.
Members of the jury, ask yourselves the questions I asked the defendant. Why should these two young girls lie? Now, this is not the classic indecency case of a girl allowing herself to be picked up, regretting it, and then resorting to wild accusations in order to keep her reputation. Nor is it the case of a girl spurned and doing anything in order to get her own back. Miss Hayes was a quiet, efficient secretary who had endured months of torment before she finally decided that she had had enough and brought this complaint. Now, she has been subjected to prolonged and intense cross-examination, but not once did she falter in her assertion that what she says took place did in fact take place. Now, as for the defendant's undoubted public service and reputation, that is completely irrelevant. He is not being tried for his activities as a mayor and a councillor, but for his activities with a young and patently innocent girl. And I ask you, members of the jury, to find this case proved.
Yes, Mr. Dealer.
Members of the jury, plainly there is a direct contradiction of evidence in this case. Miss Hayes said my client assaulted her, and my client says he did not. It's as simple as that. So how do you decide who is telling the truth? Now, I suggest, members of the jury, that when you examine the evidence, you must also examine those who gave it. Now, let's take the prosecution witnesses first. There was Mrs. Hayes, the complainant's mother, who took her daughter to the police station sharpish. Now, you will remember that she had recently lost a dispute with Councillor Bolton's housing committee. Now, this could be reason enough for her seemingly hasty action. Next, there was Miss Foster, the complainant's office colleague, a lively, attractive girl, but also one who told you that she did not like Councillor Bolton. And I suggest the reasons are not difficult to see. She had worked at the office longer than Miss Hayes, yet Miss Hayes was engaged for the better job. And secondly, and just as significantly, Councillor Bolton was oblivious to her obvious charms. According to her, he never so much as patted her on the shoulder. Now, this could have niggled her, albeit unconsciously. She also admits that she never actually saw my client's hand down Miss Hayes's back. She only saw it when it appeared from behind him. So in the light of this, and in the light of her rather frosty relationship with my client, isn't it possible that she's jumped to all the wrong conclusions? The prosecution's third witness was, of course, Miss Hayes herself. Now, everyone seems to agree that she's a highly efficient secretary, and I've no doubt she's an extremely nice girl. But I do suggest there are certain flaws in her makeup which are very important to this case. According to her mother, she is quiet and reserved, and has had very little, if any, experience of men, and in fact tends to be rather frightened and suspicious of them. And according to my client, who backs this up, she's timid and very easily upset. And as I said at the outset, ladies and gentlemen, it is all a question of credibility. The credibility of a young, inexperienced, impressionable girl and a man, a mature man, of immense achievement and reputation. Not once in 25 years has the finger of suspicion ever been pointed at my client. Not once. Now, we all know there's a proverb, there is no smoke without fire. And it is on the basis of this often cruel proverb that Councillor Bolton now stands condemned by many people. I ask you not to add to his misfortune by bringing in a verdict of guilty, and on the evidence to bring in a verdict of not guilty.
Members of the jury, the defendant is charged with an indecent assault upon Miss Hayes, contrary to Section 14 of the Sexual Offences Act. It is alleged that he put his hand on her back, inside her blouse, and that indeed he touched her breast. Now, in such a case, the law specifies that there must be some handling which is indecent, together with an indecent motive. Thus, a man who touches the breast of a woman by accident because he is jolted in a crowd is not committing an indecent assault. But no innocent motive has been, or indeed can be suggested in a case like this. And although this is a matter for you to decide, you may think that if Miss Hayes's story is true, then you should convict. But is Miss Hayes' story true? That's the question you have to ask. You must remember that the prosecution must prove its case beyond all reasonable doubt, and that if you have any doubt as to the truth of Miss Hayes' story, then you must acquit the defendant. Now, it's difficult to see any motive, any reason why Miss Hayes should invent her story, and indeed I do not think that Mr. Dealey really does suggest that she is deliberately telling an untrue story about the afternoon of the alleged assault. What has been suggested is that Miss Hayes, her innocent imagination, perhaps fired by Miss Foster's repeated warnings about bosses, was under a delusion about what actually happened. There is, you may think, no corroboration for Miss Hayes's evidence. Indeed, Miss Foster admitted in the end that she could not say that she actually saw the defendant's hand inside Miss Hayes's blouse. So the question, you may think, is, did the defendant, as he says, simply put his hand on the back of Miss Hayes' chair and touch her by accident? And did Miss Hayes imagine the rest? Now, Miss Tate has told you that you must have no regard to the accused's fine personal and public record. Now that, with all due respect to Miss Tate, is quite wrong. Such a record is a factor to be considered when you are weighing the evidence. Men and women who enjoy the respect of society are often very conscious that they can lose that respect by a single sideways step from the straight and narrow path of proper conduct. Now, if you think that the accused had such an awareness, then you may think it very improbable that he could do what it is alleged he has done. But, members of the jury, you know as well as I do that few people, great or small, are without any weakness or flaw. Our history abounds with the broken reputations of great men and women who have done wrong. To put this matter of character another way, members of the jury, if you find yourselves wavering or uncertain, you should allow the defendant's good character to weigh the scales in his favour, and you should acquit him. But if you are satisfied as to the guilt of the defendant, then it is your duty to convict. You will now retire and consider your verdict.
All rise. All rise. Will the foreman please stand? Members of the jury, have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the prisoner, Edward Bolton, guilty or not guilty of indecent assault?
Not guilty.
And is that the verdict of you all?
It is.
Thank you. The accused will stand.
You are discharged, Councillor Bolton. And may I say that I trust you will put this unhappy affair behind you, and that you will continue unaffected and unabated in your public service.
Thank you very much.
Members of the jury, may I extend the court's thanks for your attendance and your patience.
All rise.
Next week, a chance for you to join another jury in assessing the facts when our cameras return to watch a leading case in the Crown Court.